Well, good morning, everyone. Again, thanks for having me down. Last time we were together, we were just finishing up the regular season, going into the postseason. So let me just give you a little summary of postseason, and then I'll take your questions. The district tournament was September 28th, about 3 weeks ago. we got second place at that as a team, so we advanced. Of course, we got second place as a team, so we advanced through the district tournament as a team. Sectionals was the following Monday, October 5th. We got fourth at sectionals, but we were still able to get a couple of young ladies through to the state tournament. State tournament was last Monday, Tuesday, and the two young ladies we had representing us at the state tournament were Maddie Madsen. She finished 29th, and Lake Graybill, who finished 44th. So that's two of our best finishes in the history of the program. So they did a really good job, and the other thing I'd throw in was Maddie and Lake were also both all district. Maddie shot a 75 at the district tournament, which is a fantastic score. She shot 41-34 the second night. She shot 1 under par. That's the only 9-hole score I can think of that anybody has shot under par for us. So she did a great job. Okay, so with that, I'll take your questions.
Did you expect to have this much success going into the season?
I did. This season went almost exactly how I thought it would have gone. I mean, I was, hoping to maybe get a few more through sectionals to the state tournament, but I knew, with the exception of one player I thought might get through, again, this pretty much went how I thought it would go. Blue Springs was defending state champs. They were in our section. It was likely they were going to get back to the state tournament. And then you always got to get through Notre Dame to Zion to get to the state tournament, and that was the first and second place team at sectionals. So, but I was really proud of our girls. They did their job. They did everything that I expected them to do. So, it was a really successful season.
So, with these major improvements, like getting better places than last year at state and such, what do you think's the main attribution to that? What do you think changed that got them to be so successful?
Well, probably what we had this year that we haven't had before was we had two players who had been with the program for 4 years, Maddie Matson and Lauren Berkness, who had really developed and come up through the program and had worked hard every year and gotten better. So that was probably the main, one of the main reasons. And then the other main reason is we have a young player, Lake Graybill, who has just been outstanding her first 2 years. She's made state both years as a freshman and a sophomore. So that's kind of a gift you get as a coach. I mean, that's when you just have a player walk in who's already playing at that level. So those three players were probably the main reasons, and then we had a supporting cast of a couple of other girls who were able to bring in pretty solid scores that really helped us, kind of rounded us out as a team.
As a person, what skills do you think you've gained by being a golf coach?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, it certainly has continued to teach me about the game of golf itself. I mean, it's funny. I think, as with anything, when you teach it, you get better at it and have a much deeper understanding of it. And then I think I've just learned a lot about character and about the importance of hard work to really make somebody successful. I mean, I think I played golf myself in high school and college, so I had an understanding of what it took, but when you see these younger players putting in the hard work and having success, that really, I've learned a lot from just being around them and watching that.
What was your favorite part of this golf season?
Oh, I would have to say, and I mean, I know this is an obvious answer, but just going to every tournament and being a presence at that tournament and knowing that you're going to be competitive. We finished in the top 3 in every tournament that we played in this year, with the exception of one. And usually there's about 20 teams, 18 to 20 teams at a tournament. So when you go in there and you're always in that top spot, it's fun to be competitive. And it was. I really enjoyed going into districts and getting second place there and advancing as a team, because that's the first time we'd ever done that. So yeah, it was fun to be competitive.
Is there anything that you would change about this season?
No, I mean, it would have been nice to go ahead and get the entire team to state, but I think my goal, and I feel like our team's goal, was to get a team through the district tournament to sectionals. We did that. It would have been really nice to take all 5 of the girls down to the state tournament, but this is the first time that we'd ever had more than one girl go down to the state tournament, so that was fun to have. I know it's kind of lonely when you're the only person down there competing. So it was fun to just have that second player and kind of go down as a small group. But it would be a lot of fun to take a team down.
When picking students to be on the golf team, what skills are you looking for?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, we're looking for girls, and you know, this is our 6th year of being in existence. The first year we opened, you know, half our team had never played golf. It would be nice if players came out with a little bit of golf experience, having actually been on the course, played the game, and just have sort of a well-rounded skill set and capable of playing the game. But we still have girls that come out that are beginning players, and as long as I haven't had to make cuts in girls golf yet. So the course, Cardinal Hills, where we play, allows us to have about 18 players, and so far we had 17 this year, so we'll take them all.
Knowing that golf is a somewhat individual sport, how do you think that teamwork really applies on and off the golf course?
You know, that's a really good question, because I think we have really tried within the sport of golf to maintain a team aspect of this thing. I know for me, again, as a player and now coaching a team, I think there is, I mean, this is again an obvious answer, but there is strength in that team. When you have others rely on you to bring in a score, and you're still kind of trying to win as a team, that makes everybody better, I think.
How did you feel personally after winning both conference and districts?
Good. I mean, again, we had one other conference win in the past, but you know, I always tell the girls we're trying to do two things, in my opinion, in this program. One is, you know, we're trying to develop and teach these girls to play golf, and hopefully give them. The thing I like about golf is I feel like it's a lifetime sport, and it certainly has been for me, and I think it's something that you can do your entire life. But the flip side of that is we are trying to be as competitive as possible and compete at the highest levels. I feel like there's just a lot of reward in that hard work and the payoff that you get from that. So, yeah.
You said that you played golf in high school. What was the one thing you looked for in your coaches that made them a good coach for you?
Yeah, you know, for me, my coach, most of the players on our varsity could beat my coach. we had a really good team. But our coach was always so supportive, and just genuinely, I think, took an interest in us as individuals. So, you know, while he didn't necessarily teach us that much about golf, I thought he was a good leader, and again, just was I don't want to call him a friend, but you know, as I grew older, and I still saw him as I became a coach, and still saw him out there in coaching. He is a friend, and so I just appreciated him from that perspective.
Are you excited for what's to come next season?
I am. Again, it's going to be really, really tough to lose Lauren and Maddie, both very quality players, but I think we have some younger players that are developing. Certainly, like I said, with Lake, it's going to be nice to have her back as a junior, and if she improves as much next year as she did from her freshman to sophomore year, you know, she's going to be a really strong leader on the team, and hopefully we can find 4 or 5 girls that can sort of fill out the rest of those varsity spots.
Is there anything you're going to change about next season?
No. I mean, you know, I've been doing this for about 15 years. I have changed a lot throughout those years, but it's funny, I've kind of come back to where I started, and that is, you know, the most important thing we need to do is play a lot of golf, and so I've gone through trying to break down all the skills and do all this other stuff, which we still do some of that, but I think most importantly is to get these young ladies out and get them on the golf course and play as much golf as possible.
Okay, so you said Lake made it freshman and sophomore year?
Yes.
Do you think that she'll continue to make it till she's a senior?
I do. I mean, I think I don't want to speak for Lake, but I would think that it's very likely her goal is to be all-state next year. You know, we get down to the state tournament, there's usually about 90 to 100 girls at the state tournament. All-state is top 15. She certainly was in a position to do that this year. She was 17th. After the first day, she shot an 80. And I think nerves just got her a little bit the second day, quite honestly, and she never could get settled down into her round. So I think she had a good shot at All-State this year. So, yeah, I would expect her to continue to improve and hopefully be an All-State player for us, because that's a rare thing. I mean, even with, you know, I was at Liberty for 10 years, and even with Liberty, Gosh, in my mind, they've had maybe 2 or 3 girls all state in the 15 years that I've been here in Liberty, so that's pretty good. Let me take one more question, and then we're going to wrap this up.
So as the team kind of expands, like all programs have at North, are you worried about any growing pains for next season, the season after that?
That's a really good question. I think the growing pain that we're going to have is, again, we just graduated 2 really quality players that have come up through the program, and my hope is that we can continue to improve next year, but it may be that we take a little dip, quite honestly, after graduating Lauren and Maddie. I mean, they're going to be tough to lose. So for the first time, I mean, I think we're going to go into next season with the possibility that maybe we aren't going to actually be better than we were the previous year, because so far 5-6 years in a row here we've gotten better every single year, and now that's going to kind of top out a little bit, and it's going to be how can we continue to improve, because I mean ultimately you'd like to get to the state championship, but that's tough in girls golf. So yeah, so again, thank you guys for having me in. I appreciate it.